Why 2026 could be Jamaica's year of bold homecomings. By Jamaica Homes, published on October 15th, 2025. There's something wonderfully unpredictable about a house. It's never just a structure of walls, windows, and roofing. It's a statement of who we are, what we value, and how we see the future. And in Jamaica, an island where history and hope live side by side, the story of homeownership has always been about more than shelter. It's about belonging. After a few years of hesitation, delays, and cautious calculations, 2026 may be the year the Jamaican housing market finds its confidence again. Not in the way of flashy booms or imported trends, but in a deeper, steadier sense, a national shift toward rebuilding trust, taking chances, and reclaiming the joy of creating a home. The Jamaican dream isn't just about owning land. It's about standing on ground that tells your story. Dean Jones, founder, Jamaica Homes. A market ready to move again. For a while, the island's property market seemed caught in slow motion. Buyers hesitated, developers waited, and everyone kept asking the same question: is now the right time? It's a fair question in a world where affordability has become the ultimate barrier. But even in stillness, there's energy beneath the surface. Families growing, professionals returning from abroad, young couples dreaming of independence. Those dreams never really paused. They merely waited for a fairer wind. And in 2026, that wind may finally blow. The government's social housing program continues to serve the most vulnerable. Private developers are scaling projects once left idle. Infrastructure plans are reshaping accessibility, quietly expanding what we define as prime. There's movement in the soil, and with it, a gentle hum of optimism. Mortgage rates, a gentle descent. Talk to any Jamaican buyer and you'll hear it. The sigh that follows the words interest rate. It's the single number that has frozen more dreams than any planning regulation. But just as the tide shifts with patience, mortgage rates in Jamaica have begun their slow descent. There's no grand plunge, no celebratory ribbon cutting. Instead, there's something more pragmatic, modest reductions that make a tangible difference in people's monthly realities. After years of uncertainty, local lenders are crafting new pathways. Blended mortgage options, extended repayment terms, tailored programs for professionals and returning residents. The process is uneven, of course. Rates rise swiftly but fall reluctantly. Or as one might say with a smirk, they climb like a goat up a hillside and descend like a snail after supper. The important thing, though, is the direction. Downward. The goal isn't to wait for the lowest rate. It's to act when the rate aligns with your reality. Dean Jones, a few percentage points can mean thousands saved. Enough for solar panels, fencing, or perhaps that stone pathway you've been sketching on the back of receipts for years. Prices, settling into sanity. The beauty of the Jamaican property market lies in its restraint. It didn't inflate beyond reason, nor did it crumble under pressure. It simply adjusted. Over the past 5 years, prices in hotspots like Kingston 6, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios soared. But 2026 looks set to offer something healthier. Moderation. Prices are still inching upward, but at a sustainable pace, one that lets people plan and breathe. It's stability, not stagnation. According to regional analysts, appreciation is now guided by real factors: demand, limited land, and the steady return of local investors. That return is especially heartening. A new class of buyers, young professionals, creatives, entrepreneurs, is beginning to see property as more than a dream. It's now a deliberate strategy for generational wealth. Real wealth in Jamaica won't come from waiting on miracles. It'll come from managing land wisely, whether you build on it, lease it, or leave it for your children. Dean Jones. A new breed of investor. Gone are the days when property development was the domain of only the wealthy few. Across the island, a quiet revolution is underway. From Spanish Town to Mandeville, from Negril to Discovery Bay, Jamaicans are reimagining what ownership means. Some are converting family homes into Airbnbs. Others are purchasing modest lots to build multifamily dwellings. And many are collaborating, pooling resources, taking advantage of diaspora remittances, and crafting small but smart projects. It's a grassroots form of development that speaks volumes about the country's ingenuity. The motivation isn't greed, it's legacy. It's the understanding that land is one of the few things that appreciates in value and in meaning. Infrastructure, the invisible catalyst. If you want to know where the next property surge will happen, don't start with listings, start with roads. The new May Penn to Williamsfield leg of Highway 2000 has quietly transformed travel across the South. Soon, the Montego Bay Bypass will reshape the West. And every new connection, from bypasses to urban renewal projects, redraws Jamaica's housing map. Areas once considered country are becoming part of the commuter belt. Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth are now within reasonable reach of Kingston. With this accessibility comes opportunity. Affordable land, expanding communities, and renewed interest. The next big wave of homeownership won't just rise from the capital. It will ripple outward into the hills and coasts that frame it. A shift in thinking. Perhaps the greatest transformation happening isn't in brick or mortar, but in mindset. Jamaicans are rethinking what homeownership means in the modern era. No longer is it a distant fantasy reserved for retirement or migration success stories. It's now a conscious goal for the here and now. The pandemic years taught us something profound. Stability matters, and home, in its truest form, is the anchor that holds life steady when everything else shifts. That's why more Jamaicans are daring to dream, responsibly, strategically, and proudly. Real estate isn't just a transaction. It's a declaration that you believe in your future. Dean Jones. Challenges? Certainly, but they're not walls, they're steps. Of course, it would be dishonest to pretend that everything is rosy. Inflation still bites. Building materials remain costly. Bureaucracy lingers where efficiency should live. But the Jamaican market has always thrived in adversity. It's a place where builders laugh in the face of delay, where homeowners paint through power cuts, and where next week somehow becomes today through sheer determination. And maybe that's the most Jamaican thing of all, turning challenges into choreography, finding rhythm in the chaos. Because for all the volatility, there's vision. And that vision, shared by agents, developers, and families alike, is one of continuity, that we're not just building homes, but building confidence. 2026, a blueprint for the brave. So, what does all of this mean for you? If you're a buyer, this is your signal to start preparing, even if the purchase is a year away. If you're a seller, it's time to re-engage. The buyers are coming back, and they're more informed than ever. And if you're an investor, it's time to look local. The best opportunities might be right in your parish. Prices are stabilizing. Rates are softening. Infrastructure is expanding. And most importantly, Jamaicans are shifting from one day to today. There's a quiet energy in the air, like the pause before a well-timed drop in a reggae tune. And when it hits, those who are ready will dance first. Don't wait for the market to tell you it's ready. Prepare yourself so you can move when opportunity knocks. Dean Jones. A gentle reflection. Jamaica's housing market is not defined by charts or forecasts. It's defined by stories. Stories of couples turning bush into bungalow, of mothers transforming old family plots into guest houses, of sons and daughters returning from abroad, keys in hand, hearts full of purpose. 2026 won't just bring transactions. It will bring transitions, from hesitation to hope, from blueprints to belonging. The question isn't whether the market will move, it's whether you will. Because in Jamaica, home isn't just where you live. It's what you build of yourself. Bottom line, after years of cautious waiting, Jamaica's real estate market is preparing for movement again. Mortgage rates are easing, prices are stabilizing, and infrastructure is redrawing opportunity. But beyond the numbers lies something greater, a cultural and emotional homecoming. Those who see the potential in this moment, who act with patience and clarity, may find that 2026 isn't just another year. It's their year.